こから見てもいつまでもスタイルも人生素敵だよ一生killing it不安でもどこから見ても素敵だよどこから見てもいつまでもスタイルも人生素敵だよ一生killing it不安でもどこから見ても素敵だよ
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Patrick and I will be doing a soft boy glam look for you today. So firstly, I like to prime my skin using the simple kind of skin hydrating light moisturizer. I already applied that after I got out of the shower, so I'm not going to apply that on camera. I will be applying the AUSTRALIS See You Later Pores. It's a spot primer, but I like to use it all over my face just because I seem to have bigger pores, so it kind of just like fills it in and like allows for the foundation and the concealer to go on like really smoothly. So I like to start with my nose just because that's like my biggest problem area in terms of my pores, and then just like on the upper parts of my cheeks, and I like to just spread it evenly with my fingers. Okay, so now that that's all like blended into my skin nicely, I like to use the AUSTRALIS Primer Original just because I like to apply that to my neck. And I feel like this works really well just because it's like really kind of silky and smooth, and it just like gives me that extra moisture that I need as well when I'm blending the foundation down my neck. Okay, cool. So now I'm moving on to foundation. I will be using the what is this? Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 130 Buff Beige. This is the matte and poreless one. It's great for like oily skin, which I tend to have on my T-zone area, and it kind of just like stays matte all day and allows for like powders to kind of just like sit on top of it really nicely. It's also really good for photos too because I haven't found any like problems in terms of like flash photography and stuff yet. So yeah, it's really good for like late night events and like everyday wear too. So I wear this like virtually every day when I want to look a bit better than shit, which I usually do. So I know it looks like a weird application, but I kind of just like dot it around my skin, and I make sure to like get it in like the crevices of like my nose, like next to my nostrils, just because I find that sometimes I miss those sections and it just looks weird. And I like to get a bit more and put it down my neck because I hate when people don't blend their foundation down their neck. It just doesn't look natural at all. And trust me girl, I've been through stages of my life where I haven't done that, and it just, you're looking back, you're like,
what the fuck are you doing with your life? You actually look like shit.
Focusing like, especially on my redness, which I tend to get like on my cheeks and like in little like problematic areas. But once I've kind of dotted that around my entire face and down my neck, I like to get my Real Techniques Beauty Blender and kind of just get the excess off my hand and then blend it into my skin. This shade match, by the way, isn't like the best for my skin because it's quite, I don't know, it looks a bit more yellow as opposed to my natural skin tone. I usually wear this foundation like around summertime when I have like a fake tan or like even just like the slightest natural tan. But right now it's winter in Australia, so I'm like pale as all fuck. This foundation I would say as well would be like medium coverage, so it's not going to like hide every single flaw, which gives you more of like a natural look throughout the day because you don't want to look super caked. Even though I always tend to look a bit super caked. I always find that I kind of go for a second layer as well just to like build up that coverage, like I said, because it is a medium coverage. And I guess for this first video I want to be a bit of a cakey bitch, so I look half decent. So we'll just see how we go. I think it's gonna look good. Oh. Just dropped a bit on my new pink ottoman. Right. How fab. This thing's gonna get fucking ruined. I bought this like cute little, oh shit, pink ottoman from Kmart the other day for like $29, and I've already spilled foundation on it. Great. It's my little brother playing Fortnite on his Xbox One, so if you hear that in the background of this video, I'm really sorry. I told him to shut up, but he wouldn't shut up. I also like to make sure that I blend very well like near my eyes too, because I find that I tend to crease like underneath my eyes, so I kind of like to blend that well even before I put on concealer, just because I want everything to kind of sit nicely before I set it with powder. Because the worst thing is like when you just get to setting your face and then like you have these big fucking creases and you're like, well, what was the point of that? I should just like have to take off all the makeup now because I look like a dickhead. Okay, so I think that the foundation looks pretty good. Like, I'm happy with that. Just forever blending, to be honest. So now I'm going to be adding my concealer, which... Really, bitch?
I've texted him.
Okay. My sister just texted him to shut up, so hopefully he does. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the colour Light Medium Honey. I kind of create this little, like, tribal looking fucking thing on my face. Kind of looks a bit like a dick and balls. I love this concealer. Like, I'm sure everyone on the fucking beauty side of YouTube knows that this is like the best shit. It literally is so creamy, so blendable, and it's like, it gives you like the most intense coverage. It's crazy. Like, you have a problem in your life, just fucking conceal it with Tarte Shape Tape. Speaking of Tarte as well, like, I love their concealer, but I bought both of their foundations and like they were kind of like shit for me. I wore the matte foundation to my friend's 21st, and like literally no joke, every photo that we took I had like the worst flashback. It was fucking awful. So I kind of just like agreed that I'm never gonna wear that again, and it was crap. Not to mention like all the hate that they kind of copped for their crappy shade range. Like, they were very exclusive to like lighter shades, and I think that's wrong, especially because everyone should have full access to every product on the market in terms of like beauty products. Like, I don't see why fair shaded people should be given access to like high-end products, especially first. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, especially when makeup is supposed to be such an inclusive market for every skin type, every skin color. So to set under the eyes, I will be taking the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It was like $60 just for this, like fucking ridiculous, but I'll have to say that it is probably the best like loose powder I've ever used. There's no flashback. It kind of just like melts into your skin and just really keeps that like concealer in place all day. I kind of use it very sparingly because I don't want to buy another like tub of it just because it's fucking pricey. So I like to just go back underneath my eyes and really blend it in. And then I just take this little Real Techniques brush. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's just like a setting brush. So I kind of just like dab into the powder and then just tap off the excess. And then just press it into my skin under my eyes. And I find that this like really like helps a lot with the creasing. Keeps the concealer there all day, and it doesn't like kind of break up and make it look shit. Also, I like to add it to my eyelids as well as a base. Just out of habit, like before I do like eyeshadow and stuff like that, but today I won't be doing like a major eyeshadow look. It will just be a very simple everyday look. So after that, I kind of just get like this big fluffy brush. This is a powder brush from Bazaar magazine. I got it at my work. Like, it was literally like in the front cover of like the magazine packet, but no joke, it's probably the best powder brush I've ever used. Like, it's synthetic, but it just works so well. So I'm going to be taking the AUSTRALIS Fresh and Flawless powder. This is in the shade Medium Tan, and I'm just going to dip into that and basically set the rest of my face. Now, this shade's like pretty dark for me at the moment, but like, especially because I am so white, but it kind of like, it just works well with the foundation, and like, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to have to be really tan for this video. So now I will be adding bronzer. This is the Rimmel London Natural Bronzer. This is in the shade 025 Sun Glow. So I just take that on like my forehead and kind of just like blend it around the perimeter of my face. Focusing on like the forehead, I kind of get like the side of the brush, tap off the excess and like blend it on my cheekbone. Same thing, I just go underneath the jawline to kind of chisel that out. And I also like to get a bit of it and kind of blend it down the neckline as well. Just to kind of create that like extra shadow and give like your face a bit more dimension. Oh, what I also like to do as well is I like to get that little setting powder brush that I had before to set my eyes. And I dip that into the bronzer as well. Tap off the excess, and I like to carve out my nose as well. So I kind of just like start at the bridge and then work my way down and kind of just like round it out at the tip. It's so weird seeing my makeup like in the mirror with these beauty lights because they're so intense. I'm not used to it. Okay, so I'm happy with that contour. While I have the bronzer out, I like to get just like a little eyeshadow brush as well. This is from the Bazaar magazine too, like fucking weird. I dip this into the bronzer and then I apply that to my eyelids, basically to create like a shadow, just because I'm not going to be applying any eyeshadow. I honestly hope I've been making sense like this entire video, because I feel like I'm speaking a lot of shit. Okay, so now that I'm finished that step, I'm gonna get my little eyebrow brush, and I kind of just like brush through my eyebrow hairs in preparation for my eyebrow powder. So I grab my Australis this is number 108. It's just like a little angled brush that I use for my eyebrow powder. Now this is the Maybelline Master Brow Pro Palette. I'm not too sure what shade this is in, but I like to use the middle one there because the other ones are a wax and a highlighter, and I don't really see the need in doing that. Now because my brows are already quite dark, I kind of just like to define the outline of them and just very lightly fill them in. I like to focus more of the product on the ends of my brows just because I don't want them to look like blocks. So I like to have like the front of it being a bit more scarce, whereas I kind of like create that gradient. And kind of just take that excess product that you had from the ends and just like blend it into the front. Now that I have the product in my brows and I feel like they look kind of even, I like to just get the little eyebrow brush. I forgot to mention what this is. I think it's an e.l.f. brush, so it's just a brow combing brush. And I kind of just like to take it on the front and just blend it down to the point of the brow, just to kind of evenly distribute that powder. Okay, cool. Now that I'm finished with my brows, I'm going to take a bit of Max Fix Plus spray just to kind of like get those powders to kind of combine together, I guess, and to like stop my skin from drying out. So after I've sprayed my face, I like to go in with some blush. So this is the Maybelline Master Contour Kit. So I take the blush in the middle and I kind of just have this little e.l.f. blush brush that I got from Kmart for like $2. Like, what a bargain. I feel like this just like adds a bit more color to your face and doesn't make you look so like flat in like one color. Oh, just dropped the brush. And I like to blend that up to like the top of my cheekbones. And another thing that I like to do as well, I don't know if it's a bit weird, but I like to add it like on around the tip of my nose, the sides of my chin, and then on my temples as well. I feel like it kind of just like evens out that color, so that one color isn't kind of just like on just your cheeks. I feel that it kind of creates like a nice balance. So once I'm finished with that, I like to go in with some highlighter. Now this is my favorite part. I'm using the Models Prefer Samantha Jade palette that she released. Can I just say that this is like the best fucking highlighting palette I've ever used in my whole life. It has like 6 shades in there. It's fucking great. The 2 shades that I use the most are, oh, what are the names? I just threw away that little thing. So this darker shade called Bondi, and then this like kind of champagne-y pinky color, it's called Bonita. Get like a little fan brush. I got this from like Sports Girl. So the mascara that I'm going to be using today is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. So now that I'm happy with the mascara, I'm going to apply some more highlighter. Now I like to use the same angle brush that I use for my eyebrows, kind of just like rub off that excess product from the brow powder. And I like to dip in the Bonita shade, that little champagne color. Just like to dip in there, tap off the excess, and go underneath my my eyebrow, like right on my brow bone. I feel like this step kind of just makes your brow bone look a bit higher. And then what I like to do is I like to get this like icy white kind of shade. It's called Glimmer. And I just take my pinky, and then I like to go in the inner corners of my eyes just because I feel like it kind of brings attention to the center of the face and makes your eyes look a bit bigger and like makes them pop a little bit more. And kind of just pack it in there. So next will be the lips. Now what I like to do is I like to get like a baby wipe and then just like rub off the excess foundation that I have on my lips. And then go in with the lip products. So now that I've removed all the foundation off my lips, I like to go in with a lip liner. Now this is the AUSTRALIS lip liner. It's in the shade Tickled Pink. With like an everyday look, I like to just like line my lips with a lip liner and then kind of like diffuse it out with a lip balm. So now that I've applied the lip liner, I like to just get like a lip balm. This is just the NIVEA Repair and Protect. I use this like every second of my life. And I kind of just go over my lips like that. And just blend everything together. So the final step of this tutorial is to set my face. Now I like to use the AUSTRALIS Makeup Finishing Spritz matte. This is like super cheap at Priceline. And then I just like to fan myself dry. So that's the finished look, and I hope you like watching this video. I'm pretty sure I'll be posting more soon, so if you like this, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and follow my social media accounts in the description below. Thanks guys.